Donald Trump has just done something that others are afraid to do. He's named Antifa as an organized crime group. Others have been afraid to do this, but not Trump.
The criminals and all who fund and support their campaigns are in serious trouble, and we have a lot of records already, a lot of surprises, a lot of bad surprises.
He's also gone so far as to name it as an international terrorist organization.
Going to work with your administration as the Secretary of State's here. Are you going to work with your administration to designate it a foreign terror organization?
You mean a terror?
Antifa?
Antifa?
A foreign terror organization.
Well, has that been done? Pretty close, right? Would you like to see it done?
Yes, Mr. President.
Do you think it would help?
They have foreign links
I'd be glad
all
to
across
do it. I
Western
think it's
Europe.
the kind of thing I'd like to do. If you'd like, does
Middle
everybody
East.
agree? If you agree, I agree. Let's get it done, okay? Let's get it done. Marco, we'll take care of it.
Mr. President.
That's international, you mean?
Yes.
International.
Mr. President.
Sounds good to me.
Foreign terror organization.
Steve, are you okay with it?
Yes, it's true. There are extensive foreign ties, and I think that would be a very valid step to take.
Good, I think so too.
Yes.
Good, I think it's a good point. Thank you.
President Trump.
But why is Canada so silent on this? Antifa is active in all the major cities in Canada. They've been responsible for some horrendous deeds, and many of the Antifa based in Quebec go down to the US to cause trouble. As a former cop, I've seen what danger can take place with groups like this. And as a close protection specialist, I've watched and done counter surveillance on Antifa, and I've watched the way they use their military organizational positioning to go launch attacks. I've seen them throw dangerous, deadly strikes, and I've seen them injure people badly.
Antifa beats journalists. Antifa attacks our police stations. They attack our courthouses. They dox our law enforcement officers. No more. They are a terrorist group.
It's been independent journalists like Andy No and others and Rebel News who have covered Antifa.
Hey, c'est quoi ton problème? Est-ce que c'est ton ami? Est-ce que c'est ça? Vous êtes un antifa, monsieur? Wow! Did you saw that? I just got attacked by what it seems like Antifa thug that are protecting Gabriel Lepage, who is working for the National Defense. Can you believe that this is Canada 2025 under Mark Carney, that this kind of people can work for the National Defense? He actually kind of broke my camera, but we are not safe in Montreal for doing what the SPVM should do by actually finding the people who are doing criminal offense. Wow, I'm in shock.
And they've all paid a physical price for it, same as Nick Sorter did, as he tells at the meeting at the White House with the president. Mainstream media, though, doesn't want to cover it. Why is that the narrative? Well, these days I always say when you hear a narrative from mainstream media, it's because it's the opposite of what's really going on. But why has Canada remained so silent? There's been lots of incidents here, lots of evidence, lots of places where Antifa has showed up. They do the same thing. They've run web pages. They've called for projects and destruction. They've screamed in the streets. They fought with police. They've been caught with weapons, doing assaults. Yet nothing's been named. But this government is particularly weak on national security. I've done other videos on my channel about how weak Canada is in dealing with the fentanyl issue, not cooperating with the FBI or the DEA. There's been no cooperation, and former agents have come out and said that. Why? You have to ask yourself what's going on with Canada and the government and the policing at times. Let's look at our current Minister of Public Safety. He's sort of the equivalent of the Homeland Security, if not even higher in Canada. But he has his problems because he has involvement with terror-type people in his background. He's had to recuse himself from many cases because he's represented those groups in the past. Here's some of the headlines calling for his resignation or the fact that he's unfit. It gets crazier though. Sean Foyt, the gospel singer, worship leader, came for a trip to Canada, and many of the people in the Liberal government, provincial Liberals, federal Liberals, they called him a MAGA person who was evil, doesn't have the right to perform, shouldn't be allowed to perform. They canceled, they censored his venues. They called him all sorts of names. He's just a worship leader. He was forced at one point after a cancellation to do a concert at a church in Montreal. While there, all the protesters came out. Antifa types among them. They surrounded the church. One came in and fired 2 incendiary devices at the stage, smoke bombs. Here the guy is here. Now, Rebel News, you should follow them if you don't, did a great job on this. They've got the video on the guy. They offered a $1,000 reward for who this person was. Who was he? Well, they found out. Look at this.
Ministérieuse Restauration, Monsieur Gabriel Lepage. Pourquoi vous êtes parti en maladie pendant un certain temps après que ça s'est passé? Quel type de données que vous manipulez à la Défense nationale, Monsieur Gabriel Lepage? Est-ce que vous êtes capable de confirmer que c'est vous sur cette image? Ah, Monsieur Lepage? Est-ce que vous pensez que...
The great reporter Alexa, she uncovered him and confronted him, just like in great 60 Minutes style that old school real journalists used to do. Showed the picture and said, "Are you the man?" Believe it or not, the person they identified works for the Department of National Defense. And it is alleged in the reporting by Rebel News that all the people he worked with in this national defense contractor knew that he did it. His supervisors apparently knew that he did it. They called him out on it and they sent him on what? Leave for a month or so? They told him go away till the smoke clears. No pun intended on the smoke. But somebody ratted him out. So Alexa confronts him here. When she does, he gets on his phone, and guess who shows up? Some Antifa type people to threaten and intimidate the reporter.
Il y a un homme violent qui vient d'arriver, qui vient nous menacer, là. Moi, appelez la police parce qu'il y a un homme violent ici.
Tu m'as appelé un Uber à la place.
Non, j'ai dit tu décalisses.
Vous savez que...
There's been no official investigation launched as far as anybody knows. Our public safety minister was just asked about that in our version of a congressional hearing. Do you care about this, Mr. Public Safety Minister? That someone that's part of a now going to be named terrorist group in the U.S., an international terrorist group, was throwing smoke bombs and they work for the Department of National Defense and they knew about it and nothing came of it? Does that matter to you? Let's see what he said.
There had been allegations made that there was an Antifa member who threw smoke bombs into a church service in Montreal this past summer. The allegations are that they're a government employee that work on a military base outside of Montreal. Are you aware of these allegations and are they being investigated?
Allegations such as that are investigated by the police of jurisdiction, so that in this case it would be the City of Montreal Police.
Considering that this is a potential terrorism case, does this concern you? Are you at all concerned about potentially a government employee being a member of an organization like Antifa and committing a crime like throwing smoke bombs in a church service?
I'm concerned at every incidence of hate at any place, including churches, and certainly the allegation involves government employees. That makes me more concerned.
So here we go. Do you see how weak the answer is? Then he goes on to say something about, oh, I'm against hate of all kinds. Like, hate of all kinds? This is a terrorist group that is embedded somewhere within the Department of National Defense, who, as far as I'm concerned, has a phone that likely has lots of information about contacts with other potential Antifa members, what is now going to be named a terrorist organization for the neighbors to the south for the U.S. But he's not even motivated to do anything about it. The local police will look after it. Well, the local police aren't looking after it. They're like the Portland police. They let it go. Perhaps the next time Mr. Carney is down to speak with Donald Trump, he can ask them directly, Mark, why aren't you doing anything about this group, Antifa? My name is Ross McLean, former law enforcement officer, close protection specialist. Thank you for watching my channel. If you like the content here, please like and subscribe. Leave me a comment down below, and I will see you next video.